In this video, I'm going to show you how to start placing buttons and text boxes and things within our activity, okay? To start out with, they give us this hello world button inside, or it's actually a text right there. Excuse me, it's a text view. We want to get rid of that, so go ahead and click on that. So it looks something like this, and you can hit delete on your keyboard, and it should take care of it. The only thing, there we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Now we have a clear screen to work with. The first thing we want to do is we want to take and select our text here, okay? Because we want to put a number right here, a number text in here like this. What I did is I put my mouse over top a number, held my mouse down, my left mouse button down, and you can take and drag those right in the screen like that. You can either drag another one or you can hit Control C, Control V, and it will stick another one in there for you. And notice you can take and drag these down with your mouse like that. We want that. We also want I'm going to go with my common because sometimes everything's up here in a common. I'm going to put a button here like this. And then I'm going to take a text view, which is either available here or it's also available in your text group. Take and drag that in there like that. Now the thing is that you don't want these wandering around your screen for different tablets and things like that. They're going to end up all kinds of strange places. So we have to constrain them, okay? Start out with this first one. What is this? This is a edit text up here. In fact, it's even called that. Let's constrain that. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do it. One of the ways you can do it is by putting your mouse on this little circle up here so it turns green. I can take and I can drag it like that, okay? Once I've constrained it, now I can say, okay, make it 44, I don't know, units away from the top, okay? I can do it that way, or otherwise I can also click on it over here. Make sure you got this one selected. You can say click on there like this, and you can say click on here like this. And it'll take and constrain that for you. Now the only problem is that this one here is what? This is a stretchable one, and this one isn't, okay? So this is always going to maintain the same, where this is going to stretch, okay? We can change that by clicking on this, okay? Until it's like that. Nope. The reason we get a straight line here is because this one is larger than or excuse me, what we want to do is we want to make this smaller like this, okay? So we're going to take and change this to 8 on both of these like this. And now notice now it's going to take and center it, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this next one here, and we're going to constrain this one by clicking on the plus here and a plus here. Once again, we're going to make these both 8 because that way it'll center it for us. And then also we want to take and add one to the top too. And that normally goes to the one just above it, just like that. And that's good. Let's go ahead and create constraints for this button now. We're going to do that by hitting, whoops, excuse me, like this. I messed it up. It's okay, we'll fix it. And also one on the top. Once again, I'm going to make these 8 like this. And that way it'll center it for us nice. And then we're going to do one more for this one right here. Once again, we're going to say plus here, and plus in the top. I missed this one over here. There we go. Make these 8 once again. Once again, if it's a higher number, it won't center. It'll force it to one side. And then we can also add one to the bottom too, like this. All the way down to the bottom. And then we're going to slide this back up again here. So you have to put your mouse on it so it's a finger like that, okay? Don't do it any other way because otherwise you're pointing at something. Make sure it's a little finger like that. You can slide that right up there just like that. I want a little bit higher. Perfect, okay? Let's see. In fact, I can even take and I can adjust that top one if I want. I'm going to do that, okay? I'm going to make that top one an 8 like that. Or up, I don't know, 16 like that. There's a lot of different ways you can slide these around. Now, the thing is that when we did that, we're actually creating in the background here, we're creating all this XML, one for each one of our controls, widgets, object, whatever you want to call them, okay? And I can switch back and forth by going design, text, okay? But I'm going to stay in text or design for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change properties for these. This top one here is going to get a number put into it. Because I'm going to take and I'm going to put a number here, and I'm going to push a button. It's going to come up with a total down there. First thing I want to do is to change the names, okay? I'm going to leave it as edit text so I can identify that it is an edit text. I'm going to say NUM and a 1 behind it, okay? So I can identify that as being number 1. And this pops up, so I always take and shut this off right here, okay? Don't ask this again, say yes. Okay, and then I'm going to say, okay, I want that to be an input number type. That's what it is. I'm going to put a hint in there. I'm going to tell someone put in a number, okay? Like that. Beautiful. And I don't want any text in. That's fine for now. The next one, let's do that one. This one's also, of course, is a, oh, come on, grab it. There we go. So we're going to call this one edit text num2, okay? So we can identify it properly that way. Later on, we're going to be asking for information out of here, so we have to make sure that we got these called correctly. This one's called num1. This is called num2. Notice you can also see these over here, so you can actually select them by selecting these if you wish. Once again, we're going to say, okay, my hint here is going to be number, like that. It's not going to have any text in it. That's fine. Okay, now let's go ahead and select our button. There's our button right there. Let's call that button do it, okay? Do it. Like that. And let's take in, let's have the name say something like add or something like that. It's good. Now this text view down here, it's kind of hard to check like that, so I'm going to select it over here, okay? There, I don't want the text in there to be text view. That doesn't make, oh, first of all, let's fix this up here, okay? Let's call this text view total. Once again, keeping that text view in there so that we can understand when we're coding that this is a text view. Oh, by the way, a text view can only show numbers. It can't allow you to edit it, which kind of makes sense because we're going to allow people to put information in here and here, push the button, then we want the total to show up here. We don't want them to be able to change the total. That wouldn't be right. Okay, the text in there, let's just put total in there for now. And see how little, that's good. Come on, fingers, there we go, total. See how little the font is? We can change that by clicking on this little button here for our text appearance right there. It gives us a whole bunch of size. Here we got sizes in here. Let's make that big. Let's make that like a 30, okay? Now it's nice and big. Notice how this thing can float, okay? Because we said, okay, make it 8 and 8, and therefore it will, it'll just float in there. Once again, all those changes that we put in there are written right in here. You can see our text num1, text num2, some other information in here as far as constraints. And yeah, here's number, here's our hint, okay? It writes it all in that, and that's how it's able to actually create an application for us. That's it. The next one we're going to take and show you how to do a little coding.